Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome back to another live episode of How to Medium. As you can see in my garage, I have the Chinese and Russian mediums. Now, you're not going to be seeing the 1-2-1 in this video. I do love the tank, but unfortunately, I felt that it was such a different playstyle than the other tanks that I'll be showing you guys today that I felt it really wasn't a good representation. So I'm going to be showing that with my video on the E50M, the Progetto, and the miscellaneous tanks. But in this video, as you can see, I'm going to be covering the Russian mediums and the 1-2-1B because as you'll notice, they look almost exactly the same. They have very, very similar playstyles. Turrets are very strong, very low down, very quick, and excellent damage per minutes. So I'm going to be telling you everything you do need to know about these tanks and how to run them. And just like the first episode, if you haven't seen it, I'll make sure to link it in the description down below, which was on the AMX 30B and the Leopard 1. I'm going to be doing live gameplay on how to run these tanks. And the reason I do live gameplay is because if you see a YouTuber post a video on, I don't know, let's say the T62A, they're going to be showing you a replay where they got a mastery, did 6,000 damage, got into the perfect position where the enemies perfectly flew into their reticle and everything went well. But that's not what happens, and they're sort of showing you false information, I feel. So I like to show live gameplay because I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can't just play 200 games and say, you know what, I'm going to use these two replays out of those 200 games to show you guys how to run the tank, because guesses are, they're not doing great with those other 200 games like they are with these two. So I'm going to be showing you games that just happen to come out, tell you what's going on in my head, what's happening, and hopefully we're going to win more than we lose. But without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. Now the 1-2-1B, as I said, is a little bit different than the 62A and the other tanks there because it does 350 average damage, but that's pretty much the only difference. It's a little bit less accurate because of that, but I like the tank. I think it looks awesome with that gold camo. I wish Wargaming would do that with the Type 59 as well, like World of Tanks PC. But immediately, I'm going to make sure to read the enemy lineup. I see 1, 2, 3 medium tanks, and that's really all they have for fast vehicles. Now, hopefully, if I tell the team to go this way, they are going to. And by the way, if my shots don't look spectacular today, I am playing on PC just because it runs better for me. I normally don't play on PC, but just today, I'm like, you know what, we're going to see how it runs on frames. Now, it doesn't look like the team's going the way. You know, I don't get the point of telling the team, you know, which way to go, because they obviously don't listen. But I'm still going to wait here, see if we can spot them coming in. There you go. Tap that Type 61 who is hugging that wall there. And as soon as they get away, I'm going to wait until 9 seconds, and then I'll know I'm undetected. Now I'm going to start to get away. Now, of course, I was spotted by him, but really I don't have a choice because that Yag's aiming at me. The team was absolutely awful to us. But I knew where they were going to go. That was a plus. Of course, I'm being shot at everywhere. I don't get why teams don't go the right way, though. It's one of the easiest things to do. But anyways, ignoring that, we did get out of there. We're not too hurt. See if we can tap this T-54 if he pushes out or anything. Oop. No, it's not worth it with him. We're going to get out. Although we aren't detected. I'm going to keep aiming at them. See if we can tap that 54 through the railing here. There we go. If they push through, which they are, we're going to have to be very careful here. But now's the chance to really get away, because I'm not spotted. So that's one thing you always want to know, is when you're spotted and when you're not spotted. Now, of course, I'm spotted now, but I know that they're not going to be able to keep up with me, because I'm a medium tank. Even that Type 61 really isn't that fast. Our team is actually doing decent over here, except for our 57 Heavy. Not sure what's going on there. But the tanks I really got to worry about are vehicles like the Jagdpanzer. You know, not so much the other tanks. Oh, are you really going to shoot me, dude? Oh, thank God. Don't know why he would do that. But we got vehicles like the Jag. That's really the only one I got to worry about, and the WT is another one I got to worry about. But the Jagdpanzer is, as you can see right now, isolated, because his team has probably left him, just like most games. So he seems isolated. Now I got this T-54 here, see if we can snap him. There you go. The nice thing about these mediums is they have excellent aiming times, and that's one thing that you really don't get with many of the other tanks in this tier, is you can really just snap a shot like you can't do in any other tank. Now hopefully this Jag, as you can see, isn't aiming there. Tried to track him, but really, this is the end of the Jag. There's not much he's going to be able to do. Put on the auto aim, and yeah, he's done. This is what you always want to do in a tank like this. Now, unfortunately, my E50 is going to get in my way. There's a WT behind me there. See if we can track him. There you go. So, hopefully, this E50M does something productive. There you go. Now we're going to start rushing this guy. Hopefully he doesn't high roll us. There you go. I was figuring we could get the shots off. And he's going to try and ram me, so I'm just going to back up here, make sure he can't do that. He's dead. So that's a pretty good game here, you can see. Read the lineup, knew where to go. You know, not every game's going to work out perfectly. This is probably the worst map, actually, you can get stuck on for this kind of tank. Just because you can't... Ooh, that was an unlucky shot. But just because you can't really, you know... Ooh, come on, reload. There you go. But you really can't use your turret in a map like this. I would have gone up the bridge, and I would have used my turret armor there to do the best possible. But because my team just didn't want to go there, I had to push alone, spot the tanks. I wanted to make sure that they were going to bridge, because if you don't know where the enemy is when they're flanking through there, they're just going to shoot you on top of that bridge, and they're going to keep killing you across when your team pushes heavy. So you want them to sort of come after you, use them like a bait, and what that's going to do is it's going to stop the enemy, like those mediums. They sort of chased my tanks, me and that T-5041, I think it was. They sort of chased us down the bridge. And that's much smarter, because when your heavies are trying to kill those heavies, you don't want those mediums up on top of the bridge shooting at your heavies across. So when we're down there, it's much better for the team to do that. But as you can see, this was actually a really good game. Obviously top on the team, but overall you can see that they're very strong tanks if you know how to use them right. Now the 140 is a lot different than this one, and because of that, it doesn't have a strong turret. That's the issue with the 140, and I'm not sure actually why it doesn't have a strong turret. I think Wargaming definitely should give it one, especially now because the 62A has, what, 7 degrees of gun depression? So there's not a lot of advantages in this tank, except for that it has a better armor profile. It's actually got angled sides, which can bounce a lot of shells. You know, big tank destroyers sometimes get actually annoyed because you can shoot AP shells at the side of it, and you'd think it'd overmatch, but it actually doesn't. And as well, it has a very, very sleek armor profile on the front, which can actually auto-ricochet some shells. And another little side thing is it shoots AP instead of APCR. It gives a little bit better shell normalization, so your penetration values are a little bit better in this tank over the standard APCR rounds. But I just like the look of it, and I actually like this one better than the 62A just because I find it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more fun to do. Now again, I'm going to read the lineup. I see a Sheridan. That's a tank that you really want to be careful with, especially in this type of vehicle, because you don't really do a huge amount of damage to trade off a tank like that. Sheridan's going to shoot you for 500, and you're going to hit him back for 310. But if you can get a Sheridan in the open, well, they're not going to be doing too well. But T-5041 and the Sheridan, AMX 50B is also a pretty quick tank, and I'm noticing they got 2 grills, which might be pushing this way. So their team might be pushing this way. I've noticed my whole team's going here. That's one thing you always want to do, is make sure you see where your team's going. But Sheridan's here, so I don't think I even want to play with him, because he might just shoot that missile right over the ridge and tap me right in the hull. So we're going to see. If he shoots the missile, I'm going to immediately back up. That's one way to really counter a Sheridan, is just back up when you see the missile coming. But as soon as I see that missile, I'm going to be gone. So that's one good thing. But right now, I'm just holding them. There goes the Sheridans. That's good. Sheridan is no longer a threat, so we're going to try and tap this guy. You're going to see I'm never going to sit out in the open. I did this with my lightly armored mediums as well. You never just want to sit out in the open. Now, I knew that they had a grill somewhere over there, so I'm not going to be stupid and just let them shoot at me. Of course, I'm going to target the Sheridan. I don't want them, you know, to get at me. So let's see if we can tap these guys. There we go. I'm probably going to get hit here, so I might as well just take the shot at him. There you go. Oof, that did not feel good for him. I'm going to load an HE, see if this WT is going to pull out. Oh, nope, that's not good. Going to back up. So, right now, are you kidding me? That's kind of bull, if you ask me. I don't know why that guy would target me. But you know what? It looks like that grill is now going to be part of my little fun. There you go. Got an HE into him. You're going to see I don't want to be over-aggressive here. Of course, that shot on the Sheridan was my fault because I got hit by him, but I'm not overextending myself. Now, I see this WT is not aiming at me. I don't know if it's because I'm not detected or anything like that, but because of that, I'm going to tap an HE in him. He doesn't seem like a huge threat right now. He's got a lot of stuff damaged on his tank, the aimer including one of them. So I'm just going to keep tapping him with shell after shell right now. Going to use my turret armor here. You're going to see I'm always going to try and use my turret to absorb the shell, because the turret's the best part of the tank. I actually broke his gun there. That's quite unfortunate for him. But I'm always trying to pay attention on every tank that's spotted. That AMX, you know, could easily clip me out, but I see him shooting at my teammate there. So if he's shooting at my teammate, I'm going to push on him. But first, I'm going to try and get the surprise on this girl here. There you go. And hopefully this AMX doesn't have a couple shells left, but I know he already shot one, so he's not going to be able to, you know, he might have one shell left, but he's not going to do much to me, because I already saw him shoot one. I've got enough hit points to take his other shells, so he's done. There's nothing left he's going to do here. So that's one thing you always want to pay attention, and I know this tank set's got such a good damage per minute, I'm easily going to be able to take him out. So we got one tank left, 57 heavy. That's a pretty nasty guy, but easily taken out when you've got damage per minute and 5 other tanks trying to kill him. So let's see if we can just snap him here. There you go. That was a very lucky shot. I'm surprised it actually went into his turret. You're going to see again, this was a really good game, 3,500 damage. And the only reason I'm doing good is because I'm being patient. I'm making sure that I hit my shots. I still had plenty of hit points. Not sure why that Sheridan's angry, but just read the lineup and know where you're going. That's what a lot of people struggle with, is just reading the lineup. You saw there, I didn't push over aggressive on any tanks I knew I couldn't, but as soon as I saw that AMX 50B there, slurring my words, but as soon as I saw that AMX 50B there shoot at that WT, I immediately knew, hey, I've got enough hit points to survive 2 more shells of this guy, so I'm going to push on him. I can easily take him out. I knew the grill wasn't going to be ready for me to rush around the corner because he wasn't looking at me. So you always want to know what to do at the right time, and if you can do that correctly, then you're going to do fine in these tanks. And the 62A is by far one of the most overpowered mediums in the game now, just because I don't know why they gave it 7 degrees of gun depression. It's something that's like, you know, it's already good as it is. It's got 5. You know, if they gave it 6, I would have been like, okay, that's fair. But the 140, as you saw, is actually a pretty strong tank. Now, we didn't bounce many shells there. We probably would have done better in the 62A, especially because the 62A has one of the most accurate guns in the game. In fact, I think Bushka says it's the most accurate gun. And that's because it really does not have dispersion. It never gets large. Now, this game, immediately again, going to read the lineup. I noticed T95. That's the first tank that comes into my mind. And I'm thinking, if that T95's alone, ooh, that's going to be some fun. So that's a tank that I'm going to keep an eye out. But then I'm noticing T92, WZ121, and Object 140. So they got 3 mediums. They're going to be pushing medium side. That's my guess. Now, they could be pushing heavy because they got some big heavies as well. That's something to keep in mind. But my guess is they're going to go this way. I'm looking on the minimap, though. I'm seeing my AMX-50B might not be cooperating with the team too well there. If he doesn't, that might not be too good for us. But I never push into the caves over there. I never do it. I always push in this bush here, because what's going to happen is if they are pushing this way, I'm going to spot them. There you go. So there's the spotting. And I always try and spot them. It's something that's just really nice, something very easy to do, and I'd always suggest you can do it. But I'm not going to shoot at them, just going to keep spotting them here. As soon as I shoot, I know I'm going to get detected. So you want to always make sure that you save your shell. But as soon as I see that IS-7, I know that they're going this way. That's an instant, you know, reason why. So I know that they're going this way. Now I can take the shot. I know that, you know what? Oop, there's the guy. Now that 1-2-1, he might have just done a bad move there, because he's kind of stuck out in the open. I don't think he can get a shot. Oh, no, never mind. I thought my tank was low enough to where he wouldn't be able to get a shot in our hull. But now that I know he can, I'm not going to let that IS-7 aim at me. And I've just noticed, hey, my team didn't push this way. That's not good for me. I know that that bush is going to cover me from anybody spotting me there, but that IS-7 just shot, so I'm going to be getting out of here. I noticed that my team isn't there, so I don't know why they can't stick together. That's one of the worst things about teams, is they can't stick together. And you think, hey, the team's going this way, and then the last moment they all go the one way. So that's one thing that you always want to pay attention for, is which way your team's going, especially on a game like this. But right now, unfortunately, the auto aim did not want to work for me there. But we're going to finish off this E100 here, tap him with the turret. T95, as you know, is not a fast enough tank to really get into position. So I'm going to be rushing over here, try and get into a safe spot. That Mowry's probably going to tap me. I figured that. Can't repair my track because I don't know how to use keyboard controls too well. But I'm not sure what this 140 is doing, because I'm going to outdamage per minute him. Got my fast reloader on, so that's just a really bad move. Now I'm going to use my excellent gun depression here. Well, not excellent, but it's good enough to where I can really bully this Mowry. He's going to shoot this guy. As soon as he shoots, I'm going to be pushing on him. Oh, that was not a great shot. I wish I was on iPad, but we're going to just try and tap him here. Now he's probably reloaded, so I'm going to back up. I don't want him to be able to shoot me. Back up here, get into a safe cover, load of heat rounds, tap him again there. And now he's pretty much a one-shot, so I'm not too worried about him. I'm just going to tap one more final shell right there. Now, that IS-7 did shoot me in the rear, so I know, again, use your excellent damage per minute. I'm going to out-reload him. I'm not too worried about that. He's not aiming at me now, so I'm just going to back up here, use my auto-aim, finish him. Nope. don't finish him off. But I saw him shoot, so we'll be fine. Load a heat round, and I'm going to tap him right in the wall. Got the T92 though. That's a tank you want to be careful of. T92 can easily finish me off. So want to make sure that he can't get the shot into me. Especially because it looks like he really wants to. So gonna tap this T95 here, hopefully. Nope. I wish I was just a little bit more accurate with keyboard. That's my only complaint, but he overextended himself. I would not have done that if I were him. And you can see again, this is a pretty solid game. Nothing spectacular, nothing to brag about. But we won the game, did 2,700, and again, you'll notice the only reason we won this is because I paid attention to the matchup. If I hadn't flanked over there, I probably would have gotten stuck where I was and died. And that's one of the most important things, is you always want to pay attention to the lineup, know where to go. As soon as I saw that T95 in the enemy team, I knew that he probably couldn't get that far. So the T95 didn't get out of spawn that far, and the E100 was over there, so I figured, you know what, I'll go over there, deal the damage. I lost quite a bit of credits there, though, from heat rounds. So you definitely saw, though, I paid attention, knew what to do, read the lineup. And that's the most important thing. Just pay attention to your team in these tanks. Mediums, in my opinion, are just support vehicles. You never want to be on the front line doing the dirty work. Now, of course, you can be on the front line against other mediums, and the T22 medium is a little bit different because it's almost like a heavy tank, but really the medium's job is just to be a support role. You want to do the best you can with what you're given. You don't have a lot of armor, so you want to use your turret. As you saw in that game, that Mowry, I bounced, or I didn't bounce, but he really couldn't get shots off me because I was poking out every second or two, using my excellent heat round penetration, tapping him in the edges of the tank, and he barely could get a shot off on me. And that's how you really want to take these vehicles out, is you just want to use your turn armor, use the gun depression if you have it, work the ridgeline, use your very small profile, and do the best you can. Now this tank is one of the bigger ones. In fact, I'd say it's the biggest out of the bunch, but it's got the best armor profile because it's actually, if you can see the bottom, it's got like that little triangle sticking out. Well, that's actually the hull. It's an entire triangle for some reason, and because of that, it's one of the most troll armor profiles in the game. In fact, if you angle the tank more in the sides, you're going to bounce more shots than you are in the front. So if you run this vehicle, that's the main thing you want to do in it. But it does suffer some consequences compared to the other Chinese and Russian mediums. It suffers a little bit in the aiming time, a little bit in the shell velocity, so that's not the best. But on this map, I'm pretty much always going to push here. I noticed that my chieftain was going there, but T92 is here. Going to immediately try and snap him. Always going to target the T92. That 1-2-1 tap me. I know I'm going to out-reload him, though. But really, this isn't a great scenario here. I've got some teammates, though, coming. Not sure why that bat jet's running. That's not great for the team. But I'm just going to sort of keep my cool here. I'm going to wait for that 140 to sort of back away. He's not really aiming at me, so I'm just going to keep my cool. There you go. And that's sort of just what you want to do. Is just keep your cool. You know that they're not going to push on you. I see the T92 over here, see if we can get a shot into him. Ooh, that was unfortunate. But I know a T92 really probably won't be able to even pen me through the side armor just because it is so thick. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a great shot here. That's one of my disadvantages. But 140 also, I'm not too worried about him really penning the side armor on this tank. That's the really overpowered and BS thing about this vehicle, is the side armor is so thick, I really don't worry about half the people actually penning it. I can fully expose my side armor here again, just no penetrations, and it's kind of bull that it can do that, but I guess it's the playstyle of it. Again, somebody bounced me in the back there. That's a 57 heavy. Now you can see there, aiming time on this tank just isn't really that good. That's the only issue with it. A tank like the 62A or something like that has excellent aiming time. You're really not going to find that with this type of tank. But you do your best, you trade it off for excellent armor, and it really is excellent armor, because it does its job pretty much every game you do get stuck in. Now, I'm not sure why that IS-7, actually no, he doesn't have a shell, but I'm just going to keep perma-tracking him. That's what you can really do in a tank like this, is just keep tracking the enemy. It's really not going to do much. I'm not sure why that 183 is coming up here, judging that I just killed that guy. But now we got the 57 heavy. See if we can tap him there. That was hopefully a hit. But you can see I used my damage per minute there, and I perma-tracked that FE2 and 5B. And you can do that in a tank like this. They've got such a quick reload that heavy tanks, they can actually get perma-tracked by a vehicle like this. Now there you go. Damage, I mean not the damage per minute, but the aiming time on this tank isn't spectacular. So because of that, I wasn't able to hit that shot there, but he's dead. I really don't care if this Foch hits me, especially because my armor is so broken on this vehicle. But he's, I think, got one more shell left, so I'm just going to sit out here, take the shot. What's the end of the world? He's not going to kill me. Now he has to back up. There you go. So that was a nice game, 3,500. did the best this tank could do, used the hit points, and you really don't want to finish a game with a lot of hit points. If you're finishing a game with over 1,200, 1,500 hit points, you're really not doing your job in a tank like this, because you're meant to take shots for the team. You're a support tank, so if you see that one of your medium tanks is being murdered, you want to take shots for him. You don't just want to sit there and say, oh, what a shame, you died. Because if you have 262As on your team, that's 7,000 damage per minute. If you lose one of them, that's 50%. Now you're down to 3,500. So where you could take out literally a full health mouse in 30 seconds, now it's going to take you 60 seconds. That's a big difference in time. So because of that, you always want to make sure that you have your medium tanks alive. You want to make sure that your teammates are alive. So I'll take shots from my teammates. I'll go in there aggressive, and I'll do the best. But again, you saw I used the excellent damage per minute to its advantage here. I perma-tracked that 2 and 5B. He really had no chance. I made sure that he couldn't hit me with his tank, especially because he's retarded. I don't even think he could see me. But again, 3,500, these were all really lucky and good games today. So I hope that you guys did learn some stuff. And if I didn't tell you anything, I hope you learned from my gameplay where I push. And if I ever play in these maps, on that map, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's the... Let me check what the map's called really quick. On the 140 game, not the 140, Black Goldville. On Black Goldville, that bush I push to is I'm always going to go there. That's a spot that I would definitely suggest you go to, is because I always push to that bush on both sides of the map. I'm always going to go there in a medium tank. In tank destroyers, I always push to the bush next to the building there. That I feel is the best spot because you're in the middle of the map. You can shoot at the heavies if they cross on the heavy side. You can shoot at the mediums if they cross there. And if you push to the caves, the issue is that you're overextending yourself. So if your medium tanks aren't as good as the enemies, you're going to die there because you can't get away. You've probably got tank destroyers that are aiming at you if you're going to try and get away. So if you're in that spot I'm at, you've got the ridge line protecting you from the mediums. And the heavies as well, you've got that little bump of the other side. You can back behind rocks. You've got cover. So that's one really good reason why I like that spot on that map. And I'm actually going to do a video on map positions very soon. But I hope you guys did like this video. As always, if you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. If I left anything out or you want to see anything more on this type of tank, please let me know in the comments. But other than that, I hope you guys learned something today, and I'll see you in the next one.